Shabbat Shalom. We welcome you to Congregation Beth Israel as together we enter into the spirit of the Sabbath, enjoying beautiful music, meaningful prayers, a beautiful message, a perfect way to enter the Sabbath spirit. Life and joy and peace await us. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to each of you. I'm delighted that after a full week, a challenging week, that we can all settle into our seats in the sanctuary and look forward to an hour of worship in song and prayer that helps us to reset everything that we've done and everything that we expect. For those who have listened to the news, it has been challenging. And so we come here to find a place to restore our hope in the future with God's presence in our life. That hope is filled with expectations for greater peace and strength. And for those who have had a joyful week, I'm so pleased for you. Our prayers still give us many reasons to express gratitude for all that has come to us in our days with family and friends around us. And as you who are familiar with our sanctuary and our congregation look to the Bima, I also want to introduce you for the first time perhaps, but if not, I'm glad that you already know. Cantor Star Trumpeter to my left, who has delighted us with music all summer, and certainly as we look forward to and anticipate the Jewish New Year. Rabbi Adrian Scott still joins me on the Bima. I'm so pleased, and we look forward to her leadership. Rabbi Joshua Herman joins us again, and we look forward to his presence in the congregation. We also welcome Rabbi Chase Foster. How pleased we are that he joins our clergy team now. 5 clergy to accommodate all of us. So when you call, there's never a busy signal at Congregation Beth Israel. But now we settle in to enjoy the music, the prayers, and these special moments as we invite Cantor to lead us in song.
Shabbat Shalom. We begin tonight's service with words from Psalm 95, L'chuna Ranana, which you can find on your Friday night guide. We then continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20 as we welcome in Shabbat. Please join me.
Nari
yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, yedidai, Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, yedidai, Shamor v'Zachor, b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'li tilah. Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Nikrat Shabbat, lirkov v'nirchad, Himechor ha'beracha, lirosh mikeder emasucha, sof ma'asei l'magasha matchila. Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, Ro'i v'shalom, ateret ba'alam, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola. Tov emunei am segula, ro'i chala, ro'i chala. Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela, yedidai, Lechatumti, Leran Kala, yedidai, 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 Tnei Shabbat, Nekabela.
In our prayer book now, we turn to page 2 and 3. It's a pleasure to invite Ellen Newman and Nancy Rothfeder to lead us in the blessings over the Sabbath lights.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai. Not yet. Oh, the whole thing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who allows us with the mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
We continue now with our call to worship, Baruch Hu, page 28. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Page 31, together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arabim. Page 33, responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things your Torah gives to us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael. בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשיטתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 37, together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 39, responsively. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Page 43, together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Together, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We continue with Hot Tefillah beginning on pages 46 and 48. Please rise.
Adonai, Sifetai Tiftach, Ufi Agiti Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo b'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah.
Page 51, responsively. We pray that we might know before whom we stand, the power whose gift is life, who quickens those who have forgotten how to live.
We pray for the winds to disperse the choking air of sadness, for cleansing rains to make parched hopes flower, and to give all of us the strength to rise up toward the sun.
We pray for love to encompass us for no other reason save that we are human, for love through which we may all blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives.
We pray to stand upright, we fallen, to be healed, we sufferers. We pray to break the bonds that keep us from the world of beauty. We pray for opened eyes, we are blind to our own authentic selves.
We pray that we may walk in the garden of a purposeful life, our own powers in touch with the power of the world.
Praise be the God whose gift is life, whose cleansing rains let parched men and women flower toward the sun.
Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechaye Hakol. Ata Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, Kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalucha Selah. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated.
Page 55, together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57, we read together. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, and let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha bira na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. Page 60 together. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We take a moment for silent prayer.
beautiful prayers and songs remind us of our blessings, of health of mind and body and spirit. But this Shabbat, we remember those too who are struggling for a complete healing. Especially this night, we are thinking of Morgan Aaron, Larry Wiesel, Fern Winograd, Fran Fleischman, Andrea E. Moreno Kluger, Millie Dunn, Lily Farb, Rachel Bishop, Alan Lusky. For them and for all that were dear to us and our families and circles of friends, we share a Misha Berach, a prayer for their complete healing. The words can be found on page 253. Please join us. I'm delighted that on this Shabbat, we're celebrating quinquennial anniversaries, those multiple of 5 years of marriage and love that are the blessing of couples who have shared so many years together as friends. And so as I call the names of those who responded to our invitation to come to the Bima, please take your place here. We begin as we invite Leslie and Sean Doctor, who are celebrating 5 years together. Karen and Robert Sweetland Jr., celebrating 20 years. Charlotte and Robert Pollock, celebrating 45 years. Terry and Stephen Rychek, celebrating 45 years. Great. Eugenie and Leonard Zwelling, celebrating 45 years. Lynn and Harvey Tyrus, celebrating 60 years together. "60 years earns you applause." Come and join us here. Lynn and Harvey, before you take your place, I want to present to you a token, a gift from the congregation in honor of 60 years of marriage and friendship. It says, from the book Song of Songs in the Hebrew Bible, "I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine. We honor you on your special day." Enjoy that. Come together. Mikor Ahava, source of all love and life, how grateful these couples are to come into your presence on the Bima at Beth Israel. We celebrate this moment because they look back over many years, or few, but growing still. And what they see together are joys and challenges shared together. Joys made sweeter because they found in the presence of their partner and lover someone who made things just that much sweeter and more special. And the challenges, too, because they are also part of life, were more easily overcome because we found in each other's presence the one that we needed most, to help us see that if we can't go over, we can go around. And there's another way to achieve all that you wish together and with family and friends. So it's my hope and prayer for you that as you continue to celebrate life and love, that God's blessing will go with you now and for years to come, that we may gather here very often, but especially every 5 years for another blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God grant you all that you wish for yourselves, for your families and friends with you. May it be life, good health, much love, and the greatest blessing of all, many more years together in peace. Amen. Mazel tov to you. So it wasn't supposed to happen exactly this way. The 21st century was supposed to begin without wars and conflicts that shaped the previous century. If we read H.G. Wells, B.F. Skinner, or Aldous Huxley, the 21st century was supposed to be nearly utopian, where technology, ecology, and humanity would merge with globalization and democracy to reveal the future every generation promised their children. The last 17 years have passed without many signs of utopia, to say the very least. So it's to our Jewish history that we must return again to be sure that we've learned the most enduring lessons on how to restore humanity, if not sanity, today. Let's go back, not too far. In the late 1970s, I was just a high school student in the suburbs of Chicago, but many of my relatives still lived in Skokie, Illinois. If you don't know anything about Skokie, it's a suburb north of Chicago, and at the time, 40% of the population was Jewish, and 1 out of every 6 Jewish residents was a Holocaust survivor. It was truly a haven for them. But in 1977, a neo-Nazi group announced plans to march in Skokie. It was a well-organized effort that the city of Skokie aimed to shut down with ordinances that banned many of the Nazis' tactics, including their paraphernalia. 2 Jewish reactions emerged. Some Jewish leaders said they shouldn't grant the Nazis an audience, stay at home, and let them march to empty streets and bleachers. Other Jewish leaders and Holocaust survivors argued that that's what they were told to do in Nazi Germany, and they ended up in concentration camps. They were determined to take their protest directly to the Nazis in the streets. The case went to court. Defended by the American Civil Liberties Union, American Nazis claimed the right of free speech, while Jews in Skokie claimed the right to live without intimidation. The court case made 3 distinct arguments in favor of the Nazis' march. You can Google all of them later. But in brief, the court argued that the ruling against the Nazis would have, in effect, constricted the freedom of speech for others in different cases, which was simply too high a price, even under the awful circumstances that threatened residents in Skokie. In the end, the ACLU successfully defended the Nazis' right to free speech. But even then, while the ACLU did win the case, it was a costly victory. 30,000 of its members left the organization, and in the end, the Nazis marched in Chicago instead. I remember it well. Historians note that Skokie had all the elements of a difficult case: a clash of absolutes, prior restraint of speech, and heated public sentiment. Sound familiar? Today, we have a clash of absolutes as our country continues to be polarized along political, economic, and social lines. Today, we have claims of prior restraint of speech by fringe groups, even though the First Amendment has been generously upheld even for Nazis and white supremacists. And today, heated public sentiment remains strong against communities where civility is at risk and demonization thrives. There's one difference, maybe more, but to me, one striking difference between Skokie, Illinois in 1977 and Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter was president. In response to the Supreme Court ruling that permitted the Nazis to march, President Carter was not equivocal. He issued a statement in which he made it clear: I must respect the decision of the Supreme Court, allowing this group, the Nazis, to express their views, even when those views are despicable and ugly as they are in this case. But if such views must be expressed, I am pleased they will not go unanswered. That is why I want to voice my complete solidarity with the citizens of Skokie and Chicago who will gather Sunday in a peaceful demonstration of their abhorrence of Nazism. Except in one unfortunate incident, no other president of the United States of America has ever misjudged the role of the white supremacists or Nazis. Only in 1985, Elie Wiesel of blessed memory spoke to but failed to impress upon President Ronald Reagan not to place a wreath on the grave of the SS at the Bitburg Cemetery in Germany when he visited there. Despite the unfortunate event, history records it as one of American Jewry's finest moments when, in the words of Wiesel, truth was spoken to power. Last weekend, white supremacists and neo-Nazis marched in the streets again. This time it was in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the outcome was grim. Violent protests led to many injuries and one death when Heather Heyer fell beneath the wheels of the car driven into the crowd by a white supremacist. And then, unlike anyone before him, this president failed a litmus test of national and world leadership by being equivocal about and complicit with pure evil. White supremacists and neo-Nazis were granted moral equivalence with protesters who came to defend the rights of Jews, blacks, other minorities, and most Americans. Now, I know that some found less fault in his moral equivalence, but I'm not convinced, nor should any of us be satisfied with his illogical conclusion. In the aftermath, we don't have leaders like Wiesel to speak for us anymore. So we must take a page from Wiesel's lessons about rescuing humanity from inhumanity. It's not necessary to quote Wiesel. It's only necessary to do as he did. We must speak truth to power. We must advocate against unequivocal and complicit speech from the President of the United States or anyone who gives credence to moral equivalence between white supremacists and the rest of us. And we did. In recent days, faith leaders around Houston joined me in signing an op-ed which I wrote and in which I cited judicatory heads including Cardinal Daniel DiNardo and Rabbi Rick Jacobs, president of the Union for Reform Judaism. I want you to read the article if you haven't already seen it in the paper or online or in my blog this week. We concluded our joint statement with a call to the people of Greater Houston to love your neighbor as yourself, because faith in such an enduring teaching is the beginning of love between us and all of God's acts of creation. Permission is not granted to human hands to destroy God's handiwork. To do so is an act of ultimate moral weakness. Rather, defending the poor, sheltering the widow, feeding the hungry, welcoming the stranger, and loving your neighbor are demonstrations of ultimate moral strength. And we left the door open to those who hate today, but who might love their neighbor tomorrow. The op-ed concluded, if our nation's moral authority emboldens white supremacists against Jews, blacks, and other minorities, then we must link arms and hands and join voices to labor for a strong and loving nation, the America our forefathers and foremothers bequeathed to us. We know the difference between good and evil. We have room in our hearts and our homes for those who know or who will come to know the difference too. After real leaders speak wisdom, their words echo long after they have spoken. Coincidentally, it was on August 18th, 1790, exactly 227 years to the date, when President Washington addressed his letter to the Hebrew congregation of Newport, Rhode Island. On this date, he wrote, "The citizens of the United States of America have a right to applaud themselves for giving to mankind examples of an enlarged and liberal policy, a policy worthy of imitation. All possess alike liberty of conscience and immunities of citizenship. It is now no more that toleration is spoken of, as if it was by the indulgence of one class of people that another enjoy the exercise of their inherent natural rights. For happily the government of the United States, which gives to bigotry no sanction, to persecution no assistance, requires only that they who live under its protection should demean themselves as good citizens." Washington's concluding paragraph in his letter spoke directly to the Hebrew congregation and echoes still in our hearts and minds. He wrote, "May the children of the stock of Abraham who dwell in this land continue to merit and enjoy the goodwill of the other inhabitants, while every one shall sit under his own vine and fig tree, and there shall be none to make him afraid. May the Father of all mercies scatter light and not darkness in our paths, and make us all in our several vocations useful here, and in his own due time and way, everlastingly happy." The Jews of Newport felt blessed in a land of blessings. So should we. We don't need utopia. We need hope in America. We need hope in Israel too. For Jews in Barcelona this week and elsewhere in Europe, and in Cuba where I visited with many of you last May, Israel is Hatikva, the hope of a promised land. And so when we leave the sanctuary tonight, we must commit to the values of our faith. We must commit to the hopes of our forefathers and foremothers, and we must commit to honor the wisdom of those who walk before us in the places we walk today. Tomorrow can't be the same as it is today, and especially not the same as last weekend. So join me in making tomorrow better than today. Only through action, never through silence, will we show our children and our grandchildren that greater and more enduring peace is not just a hope, it is our promise. Amen. Halavai, it should only be so. Please rise. As we take our places before the Holy Ark, we're so pleased to hold the Torahs in our arms, prepared to fulfill the promise of our ancestors that we too would learn and teach and do as God commanded us. And so it is on this night that we take these Torahs and pass them now from grandparents to parents to children.
Adonai Elokeinu, v'hishtahavu l'kar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Elokeinu. Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down towards God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo.
We turn now in our prayer book to the bottom of page 282 and 287 as we join in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
In our prayer book, we turn to page 294. As we do, we call to heart and mind those dear ones who departed this earth and lovingly entered the peace of life eternal. Lovingly we remember Jean Gilbert. And we add the names of those the anniversary of whose death is observed this Shabbat. Gertrude Bromberg, Benjamin Falk, Lee Fried, Alan Hendon, Betty Levine, Milton Pollock, Al Siegel, Dorothy Berger, Morris Bloom, Sidney Brown, Pete Cohen, Ralph Feigen, Hyman Finger, Harry Fish, Albert Gordon, Betty Greenman, Morris Heller, Elvira Joseph, Molly Kaplan, Meyer Morin, Gerald Sklar, Ernest Adler, Isidore Bragman, Albert Golden, Joseph Holland, Sylvia Levy, Rosemarie Littman, Louis Solowitz, Jay Teitelbaum, Judy Barr, Ralph Rapart, Morris Goldstein, Mary Golub, Edward Jung, Sidney Layton, Rhoda Lewick, Leah Lynn, Art Rayner, Herbert Rosenthal, Morris Schechter, Jacob Steinhardt, Seymour Wagner, Hyman Waddle, Edward Wish, Clara Wolf, Gerald Bass, Cyril Coleman, Betty Finkelstein, Miguel Gonzalez Botello, Ida Polikoff, Dorothy Roos, A.S. Rosenberg, Edith Spike, John Stevens, Leah Weems, Lena Goldberg, Isaac Roosman, Sally Keller, Margaret Pugh, Marvin Foreman, Edward Gluck, Alvin Golding, Estelle Magidson, Samuel Magidson, Reuben Silver, Melvin Skalski, Gladys Glosserman, William Z. Roseanne, Julie Roseanne, Anthony Roseanne, Nicholas Roseanne. In their memory and in their honor, let us rise as a congregation as we join together in reciting the words of Kaddish. Yitkata v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad yivrachu te v'yamlich malchu te, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, Bagala vizman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei gudashah b'richu. Le'olam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram v'yama v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn and comfort to all the bereaved among us, as together we say, amen. As we have dealt with death as part of life, we turn our attention now to Kiddush so that we may sanctify the Sabbath day, the day in which we give thanks to God for all the gifts of our life. It's a pleasure to invite our B'nai Mitzvah to lead us. We can join them on page 5.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. We therefore raise the cup in thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah, lemikraye kodesh, zecher yitziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, biltanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, b'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Good job. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Rosalind Heiken, and I have the privilege of serving as Vice President of your Board of Trustees. Mazel tov to the family of Jake Newman and Grant Rothfeder, who are becoming B'nai Mitzvah this weekend. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we will host our first Shabbat Shindig of the new year. Families with children 5 and under are invited to attend this short service led by Rabbi Adrian Scott and Rabbi Chase Foster, followed by breakfast and playtime. Please contact Rabbi Foster for more information. On Wednesday, August 23rd, Beth Israel will host a monthly mitzvah project with kids' meals starting at 9:30. Everyone is invited to RSVP for our Leisure Club lunch with Rabbi Joshua Herman, who will be leading a program featuring Israeli modern pop music. If you are interested in volunteering or registering for lunch, please contact Marcia Gilbert. Her phone number and email address is available in your Friday night guides. Next Friday, August 25th, everyone is invited to a special Shir Shabbat musical service at 6:30 p.m. in our sanctuary with cantor trumpeter and our clergy team. Please arrive early as we hope for and expect a large crowd. On Sunday, August 27th, the Miriam Browning Jewish Learning Center will kick off a new year with their Shalom Sunday program featuring summer camp theme introducing cantor trumpeter and Rabbi Foster and an opportunity for the children to meet all their educators. To register, please contact the Miriam Browning Jewish Learning Center office. After tonight's service, please feel free to visit the membership table and introduce yourself to me and my fellow trustees on the bima tonight, Michael Copeland and Leslie Margolis, so that we may welcome you. Shabbat Shalom.
Boys, Shabbat continues with Kiddush, and I want you to know there are two things that we come to learn. There's keva, which is the cup, the fixed item that really helps us to fulfill the mitzvah. But there's always kavanah, the soulfulness that helps us accomplish it. With kavanah, you really fulfill the mitzvah, and tomorrow you'll have your cup so that you can raise it and we'll say the Kiddush together. We conclude our service as we join in singing with cantor trumpeter Adon Olam. If you need the words, they can be found on page 321. Please rise and join us in singing. closing benediction, please remain in your places for just a moment so that the clergy may exit the sanctuary first. We look forward to greeting you and wishing each of you Shabbat Shalom. Listening to a word of wisdom echoing from the past, Martin Luther King Jr. wrote to us in his letter from Birmingham jail in 1963, "Let us all hope that the dark clouds of racial prejudice will soon pass away, and the deep fog of misunderstanding will be lifted from our fear-drenched communities. And in some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. May it be God's will that all of us will come to know such beauty. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us for this Shabbat service. We're so pleased that we can share the services through live streaming. You are a part of our congregational community. If you have a need to call or write us, we would love to hear you beyond this beautiful service so that we can continue to deepen our relationship and our connection as a caring congregational community. I wish you the very best as the week continues, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Shabbat Shalom.